Dimitri Diliani, Brigadier General Yosef Cooper-Wasser, and Captain Guy Poran. Thank you, gentlemen, for staying with us. Brigadier General Cooper-Wasser, you've mentioned earlier in our conversation the Abraham Accords. We are already hearing condemnation from Israel's Arab allies, Egypt, Jordan, the UAE. Will it undermine the Abraham Accords? Is it turning the dreams of normalization with Saudi Arabia into far-fetched notions?
No, I don't think so. I think they all understand, regardless of what they're saying, they all understand our need to take action in order to deal with the terror threat that we are facing. And yes, they're concerned about the prospects of moving forward with the Palestinians. They want to see some progress in this arena. That would make it easier for them to move forward, but they understand, they totally understand our situation, as are the Americans. And I think that once we are going to be able to say that we have accomplished our goals in this operation, and the level of terrorism is going to decline, then it's going to be easier to move forward with the peace accords and with the Abraham Accords. Because we should be able to be more forthcoming to the population in the Palestinian controlled territories, and that's what we are trying to do all the time. We just have to cope with the fact that once we do that, we are facing the terror, and the terror causes us the need to take action, and we have to be more limited in what we can do with the Palestinian population.
Captain Poran, what would be the situation on the ground after this operation?
Well, you could have asked this question after the 17,000 other operations that have taken place over the last 20 years or so. Nothing is going to change, because for every young Palestinian terrorist, and I agree that those people that are trying to kill Israelis are terrorists, and that we have no choice but to try to kill them. I'm not against these tactical moves and this kind of operation, but I'm trying to take a look at it from perspective. Nothing is going to change, because their brothers and the youngsters are going to go and do the same thing over and over again, because they're not going to agree to live in their land, in a situation that the settlers are all over them, limiting them. The army is limiting them. They have no rights. No people would accept it. We would not accept it. I would not accept it if I was one of them. And so it's not going to change. It's not going to change, because any kind of operations that we do, and no matter how many we kill, it will not change the basic reality.
So, Mr. Diliani, how would you solve the current state of affairs?
It's simple. The occupation has to end. I believe that Netanyahu has taken us through his very long years of governing with the illegitimate settlement expansion, has taken us to the post-Zionism era. And we are looking forward to a peaceful struggle towards one-state solution, where we fight on the ground peacefully the supremacist ideology that has control.
But what is a peaceful fighting on the ground that you're seeing, Mr. Diliani? Again, murderous attacks. This is not the definition of peaceful.
I don't know what is it exactly that you do not understand, that
Please
your army
again.
settlers, that your army and settlers, I don't mean you personally, but your army and settlers have killed 189 Palestinian human beings just like you. Please,
most of them terrorists. Most of them terrorists. Let's be correct. Most of these 185 that you mentioned were terrorists.
Would you just be quiet?
No, gentlemen, we encourage interaction, but a respectful one, so please.
Let him give me my
this gentleman repeatedly lies about the numbers.
His nonsense. He took his time to spread his nonsense. It's time for me to respond.
No, gentlemen,
If
please
there's
let's maintain respect.
If there
Yes.
is a person that thinks that the 35 Palestinian children that were killed by the Israeli army and the Jewish terrorist settlers are terrorists, this person is really not qualified
Okay.
to be on this panel or to
Okay.
be qualified as
This
a
is
human
for
being.
this is for us
begin
to
with.
decide who is qualified and who is not to be on this panel, and we believe that
Yeah,
all
if you
voices
think that
should be heard. Mr. Cooper,
Children murdered. If you think children who are murdered by your
no one is
army
thinking
and
that.
your
No one is
terrorist
thinking that. The only
are
person
terrorists
who
like
justified murderous
this
attacks
thing is
until
saying,
now
then
is.
you got a serious problem on your hand.
Okay,
Two,
Mr.
you have to understand that our blood is not cheaper than yours.
No one
And
is
you have to
suggesting
get
that,
it
sir.
through your head that
No
your
one is suggesting
supremacist
that.
mentality is bringing this violence.
Okay.
Your supremacist, terrorist, fascist mentality with your degenerate government of Netanyahu, Ben-Gvir, and Smotrich
Okay.
is bringing this blood. And if
Point
you
made.
expect that this wave of terror will go unanswered for, you must be nuts.
Okay. Thank you for this, Mr. Diliani. Brigadier General Cooper-Wasser, please.
Yeah, well, out of the, I'm not sure about the number, but even if we take the number of 185 Palestinians killed since the beginning of the year, almost all of them
89,
were
there are four more
terrorists,
important
including
people
many
than
of
you are.
those who were under the age of 18. There were several people that were killed and without anybody wanting to kill them. And there were some errors, and this is part of a situation like that. And Israel conducts investigations in any case that in which unintended casualties happen. And it's true that this is a terrible thing. And when it happens, we are always really deeply sorry for these events.
This conversation of trying to suggest this or that murder is
unintentional and against our will. And when the Palestinians do that, it's intentional. And this is exactly what they want to do. They want to kill civilians. They want to kill children. They want to kill any Israeli. And that's the problem.
It's this supremacist mentality. It's that supremacist mentality that gives them the right to think what the Saudis are thinking, what the Arab allies are thinking, what we are thinking, that I'm detached. He thinks this with the supremacist mentality, he can just distribute what other people are thinking. This is crazy.
You can repeat
if you were in other
the message
countries
about
that respect human
bloodthirsty
life,
and
you would be jailed.
Supremacist mentality and all these slogans. This is not going to make them true. That they are totally detached from reality.
Okay.
We are not bloodthirsty.
If I can just
if you are anywhere else,
Mr. Diliani, thank you. Captain Pohan,
if I
please.
can
you
just
would be jailed. People like you have no place.
Okay, Mr.
to be
Diliani,
speaking
thank you.
like
Mr.
that
Diliani,
and
thank you.
fake
Guy
and
Pohan,
supremacist
please.
ideology.
I'm sorry, but let's try to keep this respectful. I
think it's too late for that.
Encourage all of us to remember that the symmetry between people that have very little resources, like stones and homemade guns, and the strongest army in the world with the strongest air force and armed forces. This is not a symmetrical situation. The fact that they are trying to fight, they would have liked to have intelligence and systems that would only arm military people and would be much more effective. But fortunately for us,
we
are keeping them
against civilian targets intentionally. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about the situation. This is not symmetrical.
In Gaza, for example, and they use it against civilians. Don't you know about that?
Your rate was 6 in 1.
What are you
For
talking
every
about?
targeted killing, there were 6 bystanders killed in the last Gaza aggression, if you go back to the statistics.
Okay.
There were a lot of casualties that were just bystanders. And for
they were not
the
bystanders. They were
supremacists
living
on the
next
panel,
to
he thinks that
Okay.
it's okay.
Gentlemen.
For feeling
That was not
sorry, it
happening.
goes away. It
Not
doesn't go away.
bystander.
Okay, gentlemen. I guess
Gentlemen, what?
I just wanted to thank you, sir, for joining our panel tonight, Mr. Dimitri Diliani, Brigadier General Yosef Kupavasser, and Captain Guy Poran. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Hey, I see you liked it. Want more? Just hit the subscribe button right here. Go on. I know you want to.